Folks, dude here, coming to you on yet another, this is not a stormy, nasty, icky, yucky, disgusting weather Tuesday thing that we've been having scads of on the East Coast. For a while there, it seemed like pretty much like, kind of, not bad day. Then like about between like 7 and like 10 o'clock, the storm clouds came rolling in, and it was like stuff blowing sideways. Usual podcast, Tuesday. You guys checking me out, hopefully finding me live also, besides YouTube, finding me also live on Facebook. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking over here because that is where my laptop is currently running with the YouTube side of things. So I literally have two cameras side by side, and I got two microphones side by side, two turntables and a microphone. I literally have my laptop running, and I literally have my home computer, my basic desktop unit running side by side, and of course doing various things that it needs to do side by side. And of course I'm simulcasting. So good stuff like that there. Hopefully you guys can check things out. Yes, I am rocking the Frisco shirt. I don't know why this one ran in circulation, but I'm rocking the Frisco shirt, okay? Am I really a huge fan of San Francisco? Not particularly, but it is what it is. So, it's San Francisco. All right, so looking at things, drawing down for what it is on the internet, and of course my usual news feed that I try to type and put in and place upon my timeline on Facebook, and I usually go into a news and review thing. Then, of course, there's the usual instance of me doing stuff, and, of course, ribald and body commentary upon each item as I find fit to, which bring forward upon you and let you guys know. So it's one of those things I usually will just bring out and talk about stuff, okay? So let's proceed thusly. Let's see. Scrolly. It's been stated very clearly that the amount of just mortality for COVID-19 is actually quite a bit under projection, and the numbers that they gave were completely wrong. Excuse me 1 second here. Everything else. This is coming from Fox News, and man, I got to tell you what. Oh, my stars and garters. There is something that's definitely dying, violent, not happy, and particularly bad tidings of departure. Yeah, it's supposedly COVID is killing marriages. Marriages supposedly took like a 30% hit for divorce rates, and they say that they're skyrocketing. Hang on a second here. I did stupid auto plays. Oh, I hate that. Anyway, so this one, they're saying divorce rates have spiked in the U.S. during the coronavirus pandemic as couples have been stuck home for months. Yeah, familiarity breeds contempt, You don't have that kind of ebb and flow thing where you go to work, you come home, you basically don't see each other for 24/7. Oh, Abram, appreciate you coming in the room, dude. Did you hear Dr. Fauci got the axe? Well, yeah, I'll get into that in a bit. I really haven't heard that news story as of yet, but yeah, it was kind of drawing nigh, and pretty much he was kind of sucking wind, and Fauci, yeah, I've just been calling him Dr. Falsey, like he's false premise. So anyway, looking at this divorce thing, number of people looking for divorce was 34% higher through March, from March through June compared to 2019. According to new data collected by Legal Templates, a company that provides legal documents. The combination of stress, unemployment, financial strain, death of loved ones, illness, homeschooling children, mental illness, and mental illnesses, okay, and more has put a significant strain on relationships. Well, Duh, you're stuck together. You have to kind of work it out, or you don't work it out, or you just basically go, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm out of here. You know what? Maybe you should just take a break from one another and stay at somebody else's house for a couple of weeks. Anyway, the data shows that 31% of the couples admitted lockdown had caused irreparable 20 days into when a vast majority of states began lockdowns. That's really... This uptick could coincide with health and human services professionals referred to as, quote, the disillusionment phase. Let me try to get this word out of my mouth. Disillusionment phase of the phases of disaster. It's time when optimism turns to discouragement, stress heightens, and negative reactions often occur, the group wrote. You know what? The screaming Mimiite psychobabble morons, they always have like these, it's the Stockholm syndrome, or it's the this syndrome, or it's the that syndrome, or it's these other people. You know, go away. Just stop, okay? They also found that newlyweds took the hardest hit. Well, duh! Hence the phrase, newly wed. They're still in the fleshing out phase of bashing each other before they finally went through with it. Mrs. Dude will tell you she pretty much had to, like, you know, really give me the ultimatum. Hi, you have scissors. She had to give me the ultimatum before we got married, but we had a long time courtship before we actually put the rings on. I'm getting that look again. I know that look. So yes, we had a long time courtship before we actually put the rings on. I basically bent over in Disneyland. She's not around the corner. I'm safe. Well, no, we actually got married in Disney. So anyway, it was kind of like one of those things where it was just, I guess, needing to get done. At least that's what she told me. That's what she told me. You need to get this done or else. All right. So anyway, no, I didn't complain too much. All right. So anyway, in the case of newly married couples, are less equipped to deal with the stressors of the COVID-19 virus than mature couples, said the group. Well, you know what? The group can say anything they want. They have that much commitment to one another as people who are long-term, multiple kids, a lot of property, that kind of stuff. It's, you know, it's not like you're going to have like mega rich couples going, you know what? It's time to just split off and we're just done with it. Things get really, really complicated when you start involving things and kids. Let's see. Oh, quote, it's possible that divorce rates will continue to rise as economic, financial, social, institutional, and psychological turmoil from COVID-19 virus unfolds, concluded legal templates. You know what? I think it also might have something to do with Republicans versus Democrats versus, like, you know, major peer groups. And of course, you know, those people are like, I'm not going to listen to your crap anymore. I'm out of here because you don't vote for the guy I like. Or you don't vote for the person I want, or you basically side with these groups. You're not for this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, I put this sign up on the yard and you took it down. You know, it just gets long and drawn out, stupid stuff. You know what? If you don't really like each other that much in the first place, don't get married. Problem solved. Let's see. Scrolly. I can't really take this one out of the room so much, but it is on my timeline. I got to clean this up as much as possible, but I got a text message the other day from phone number 855-973-0945. Yeah, that sounds like a robot number to me, but anyway. Hi, Mike. It's Stephanie, a Move On volunteer. I believe no matter what we look like or who or where we're from, we deserve real leaders who govern for all of us, not just the wealthy few. Move On members and voters like you are mobilizing to beat Donald Trump and elect Joe Biden. And it has these three little stupid, you know, emojis. Will you support Joe Biden for president? Reply yes, and we'll share periodic text from Move On's 668-366 number. No. I find it very interesting that there's a bunch of sixes in Harris sticker. Message and data rates may apply with a flag icon. I responded, blank no and blank your communist movement, blank you, never contact me ever again. You can fill in the words however you wish, but I definitely am not going to say anything other than it ended in K. Logan Ray, appreciate you coming on by, dude. Sounds like commie robots to me. Yeah, it was definitely commie robots. And I'm probably not going to hear from them again, but I am in Maryland a registered Democrat. So probably they're going, oh, this guy's on our side. We got to chime in on dude. He is going to be a good egg for us. And yes. We'll definitely endeavor to throw him a bone, and he'll basically be one with the team and suck it up for all the rest. No, that's not happening, dude. Okay? No. I am not a Biden supporter. Okay? Take it as it will for what I'm going to choose when I go to the voting booth. I am not a Biden supporter at all. There was one I thought was actually kind of funny, and this goes back to military times, okay? You know, basically, you're geared up, you got your mop suit on, you know, so basically what helps you to survive during nuclear, biological, and chemical attacks, you have a plastic bag that's activated charcoal. You pull it off, you're just black. You're big black smudges. And of course, you got your face mask, you get multiple filters and what have you. It's not the best design tech, but it will keep you combat effective for a while. So you ask the sergeant, hey, sergeant, this stuff runs for 3 hours or so, and then the filter plugs up, and I got to change the filter. What happens when I run out of filters, or if I rip the suit and I get exposed to this stuff? The sergeant will go, you die. Well, what's the effect of this stuff? It's to keep you combat effective for a longer period than that guy that wasn't wearing it. Oh, thank you so very much. I found, and it was the Armed Forces Nuclear, Biological, and Chemical Survival Manual. Excuse me here. Went down the wrong pipe. So anyway, U.S. Armed Forces Nuclear, Biological, and Chemical Survival Manual. So I said essentially this, me being a smartass. Line 1, paragraph 1. When you're in combat, you can be counted on to be the one who survives the longest and will help win out in combat and ensure the longevity of your fellow soldiers. Now, this is me being me. The gear you're issued is the highest level of studied and research items to ensure your combat effectiveness for as long as potentially able. When you run out of air filtration cartridges and your gear wears out, finally tears and leaks exposing you to NBC agents, bend over and kiss your ass goodbye. Have a nice day. That's pretty much it. Never forget your gear was always assembled, produced, and sold to the U.S. government as the lowest possible bidding contractor. Oh, jeez. Now, I got to tell you, this news story annoys me greatly. Now, hang on a second. I actually got to do this one a little bit. And this one is going to be a little bit annoying. That really is just annoying to me. I think it was actually The Outcast. Yeah, that's what it is. It was an episode called The Outcast. And there's a humanoid race called the Janai. They're a race that have no gender. And they asked the crew for help finding a shuttle which has gone missing. Now, the thing is, one of the Janai named Soren accompanies Will Riker. They're a non-binary society. So they're a non-binary society at all. They have basically the actor that portrayed the Soren character was actually a female actress, so not very big, kind of slight in build. And the thing is that they say they're androgynous and they pretty much have a mating thing, but you really can't tell the difference between male female because there is no male female. Everybody's basically roughly about the same. They're completely androgynous, and you really can't tell. And she starts hooking up with Riker. And they develop feelings for one another, and she's like, hey, I think I really want to express myself as more like female than neutral. And of course, it draws on, and it's, the whole episode and whatnot. You can see it. It's called The Outcast, and it was the season 5, episode 17. So anyway, Riker basically, is like, fighting for her to not have to the stuff that they're trying to do to her to make her more fit in with the society of, basically becoming more binary rather than androgynous or neutral or no sex or what have you. So this has been done already, and it was an okay episode. It was not like, this politically minded, okay, you got to understand why the trans people are like this in society nowadays and blah, 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 blah. And, it was really more of a case of people encountering a different culture and saying, okay, well, we can't switch things around because that's their culture. We have the non-interference clause in the the way that they do things in the Star Trek universe. The non-interference, whatever it is for whatever, and they basically have to respect the fact that the Janai are the Janai, and they're going to do things the way that the Janai do, and they can't change things around. So this has been done already on Star Trek. Okay, now it was actually done on Star Trek, and the original air date was March 16, 1992. So 28 years ago. This was done. It was done to death, and it is basically with her, and because she's a her, the society has a problem with it because they want her to be a them. So it's been done to death. It was actually, I wouldn't say it was like ridiculously stepping over lines of saying, sexually motivating this, that, and the other thing, other than, basically these two beings basically found each other attractive. And of course, they were found incompatible because their cultures were incompatible. That was the whole essence and being of this episode. That is not enough for CBS nowadays because they own all of Star Trek. This is not enough for modern CBS stuff. Oh, no. Star Trek Discovery, read the one that really you can only find on CBS. You basically have to pay for it monthly. Has introduced the franchise's first transgender and non-binary characters in an upcoming episode / series thing, whatever. It's been done. It's been done. Okay, CBS didn't need to pull this stuff out and go, no. We're not, we're not compassionate enough. We're not rainbow enough. We're not this, that, and the other thing enough. It's been done to death, okay? You didn't need to jump around and do this stuff all over again. It was perfectly fine. You didn't need to jerk it all around and make everybody basically, in your face. But as if woke wasn't woke enough, this is what I said on Facebook. As if woke wasn't woke enough, they had non-binary characters on STNG, so Star Trek Next Generation. But oh no, Star Trek is going full San Fran, full speed ahead on the CBS Online pay channel. Lame as hell, GTFO. Just why? It's enough. You don't need to do this stuff. I did find it interesting that there was a couple people and saved it just in case they try to delete it. But it was a Twitter status, and it was Lemon, that moron on CNN talking to another person of color. And they're going back and forth about Kamala Harris, whether she is, quote unquote, black enough. Of course, she is Jamaican and she is Indian. And of course, that whole thing about the one drop of black blood, you're black enough. And of course, there's that whole thing then they have the Democrats screaming and bemoaning the fact that somebody who's Republican isn't black enough. It was a very interesting video to watch. And Don Lemon was kirking out, trying to talk over her the whole time, try to shut her down. It was completely emblematic of the way the Democrats do stuff. They will not let you ever get in a statement or anything because they are so afraid of people expressing a view that is contrary, that takes them down because they have nothing to counter it with. That's the problem with libertarianism, is they have nothing to they got nothing to fight with, man. They really, truly just don't. They got no ammo. Scroll. The whole story about Nancy Pelosi and this hairdo thing. Holy crap, man. Holy crap. She is now saying that she was a victim. She was set up. It was this, that, and the other thing because she came into it just trying to, nobody told her that she had to wear a mask. It's really interesting to see. And the way I've best seen it expressed is this. The line of succession in the United States government is this. the president, the vice president, the leader of the Congress. So she's 2 heartbeats away from running the nuclear codes that could potentially wipe out all the life on the planet by starting the all-out nuclear. Yeah. This is supposedly the smartest woman on the planet, the smartest woman in Congress, the smartest woman in the United States government, better than Pence, better than Trump, better than anybody. And she got bested by a salon owner. Doesn't really shake out so good. So anyway, she basically threw the salon owner under the bus, and it is getting interesting, folks, because even hardcore libtards San Francisco is protesting at Pelosi's home, and they're hanging blow dryers and curlers on her trees. Man, if that isn't somebody throwing the tea overboard in the Boston Harbor, I've never seen it in a recent memory. Holy crap. Don't be messing with a person's hairdo there. Holy crap, man. Nancy Pelosi, man. You know, you basically have this elitist, insular, not even knowing like how the real world is anymore because she's lived inside the Beltway for so long or behind high walls, or she's been so coddled by the media and by her suck-ups, and she really doesn't live in, you know, to use the Rush Limbaugh phrase, she doesn't live in Realville any longer. She lives in this fake, foofy, kind of squishy, libtard fantasy of the way the world is, and she's there. Zuckerberg is there. Steve Jobs was definitely there. His widow's definitely there. Let's see, Bill Gates and his wife are definitely there. A lot of these elitist type of guys, you probably could say that, you know, Bezos, the guy have no contact with the everyman. All contact that they do have is going to be, all contact that they do have is it's pretty much just going to be under certain auspices, and there's only going to be certain amounts of actual communication and contact that they will ever truly engage upon. And the other thing, too, is also they're raging egotists. I mean, these guys have ego that is beyond, I mean, just far and away beyond the average Genghis Khan or Adolf Hitler or, you know, Mao Zedong or, you know, Sun Tzu. You know, they have ego that is far reaching beyond any of these world leader type guys, because they think that no matter what, they are all that. They are the reason why everything is on the planet, is because they allow the world to revolve around them. Anton Levine. Yeah. Yeah. The Satanist. But the thing about Anton is you mean Anton LaVey? Anton LaVey. He was, or Anton Levine. Who is that? Is that another guy? But the thing is, you know, you have these far-reaching, raging ego guys, and they think everything is due only to them. They're the only reason why these things happen, and because of them, the world can continue to revolve only because they allow it. They deign to allow it. Not a fan. Just truly not a fan. But, you know, the comeuppance that they're getting is good shit, isn't it? It's really good stuff. I did do a tease, and I'm going to talk about this now because, you know, I'm obviously going to have to broach it sometime, but I'll talk about this now. On the video that I posted up on YouTube, are flip cameras still decent tech? I did give a tease, and I did say that I am upgrading from my absolutely an awesome phone. I've been using this thing for just years. It's been dead nuts. It's been very reliable. Truly has been one of those. No, the Satanist. So it's Anton LaVey. Lavey, I believe. Anton LaVey. So going back to this thing's been dead nuts reliable. Unfortunately, though, it was hot snot in 2014. So 6 years out of date. A smartphone 6 years old. it's showing its age. I mean, it still works. I can go on the internet right now and I can do stuff. Obviously, it is not online any longer. The biggest thing, of course, is the technology involved. Is the SIM card is a standard SIM card, which is almost the same size as like an SD card, micro SD card. They don't run that anymore. They run these little nano things now, which are about the size of like a sugar cube of that. And so these things are basically aged out. I mean, there's a lot of tech that really just doesn't work so good anymore. The Google Maps doesn't really play nice with this anymore. Trying to work with this, it is slow. Updating information, it's not quite as good. I mean, the processor in this thing was hot rod back in the day, but not anymore. So, unfortunately, I'm putting this guy aside, and I have gotten myself a Samsung Note. And I got myself a Note 9 for one very simple, one very good reason. Is the mere fact that, hang on a second, I gotta find the right plug here. Hang on. Hang on. I was not prepared on this one. But anyway, the main reason is because it will take and use a phono jack. Boop. Phono jack in the Samsung Note 9. The Note 10 does not have a headphone jack. And technology-wise, it's really not that much better. I mean, that's the other thing too, is, it really make it show on the camera just a touch better. No, wrong button. Okay. So basically this guy, picture quality on this thing is just ridiculous. I mean, it's like at least twice as good as the S5. The biggest thing also is it has a built-in pen. It's got the pen. The pen actually has a capacitor on board. So it runs for 20 minutes with just the capacitor or something like that, 20 to 40 minutes. Forget what the exact number is. But anyway, the thing about it is to recharge this, you place it back in the phone, and a little clicky button basically helps you put it in and pop it out. But it literally recharges that capacitor in 20 seconds. And then you get like another 40, 50 minutes of use, whatever it is. And on board here is basically got to tap off whenever you pull the pen out. It wants to go into the drawing program, and you do have a button on board. So you can maybe hear that there's a little clicky button. The bottom actually is the clicker. If you guys really want to just be completely bonkers and drive all your coworkers nuts, and all that does is it helps click it in and out of the phone. Now, this one is pretty good. You can use this as like a camera remote. You can take pictures using the button on the pen. The newer S10 has a true Bluetooth for the pen. I mean, the pen is like that much more technology, that much more if you're going to cry if you ever break it. And the pens actually can break pretty easy if you snap them. Jerry Rig Everything on YouTube did a tear down on one of these. That was the first thing he did was he broke the pen. I mean, it was just like breaking a wooden pencil. Now, in terms of the actual size of this thing, it's really thin. It's quite a tank, though. I mean, it is not small. Let me strip out the S5 out of its case, and you can see size-wise, they're really close in terms of thickness. Actually, thinner because it doesn't have as much bump out. I think it might have. They're very close. They're very, very close in terms of thickness. In terms of size, though, that is huge. I mean, this thing has at least another 10 millimeters, half inch more of actual screen size. I mean, this thing has a redonkulous size screen. And I've done some movie reviews with it. I've done some YouTube video watching with it, and the screen is just disgusting. It's like watching like a very good computer monitor. Now, the thing about it is also technology on board. I mean, I've been running, doing, the Lyft and Uber thing with this, and it is absolutely seamless. The other thing that's actually kind of funny is, of course, you do have, let me turn on my, let me turn this on real fast, okay? So it actually does also have an onboard assistant. It doesn't have Siri. It doesn't have, like Core Tana, and I can't say it all one word, or she'll turn on my, my laptop, which is running Win 10. If I say Core Tana all in one word, she'll go, yeah. And it's like, no, I don't want that right now. But this one is actually kind of cool. Hey, Bixby. It's right there.
I didn't understand that.
Okay, well, I don't need you right now, so go away, okay? So anyway, the assistant on this one is called Bixby. So you say, "Hi, Bixby," and Bixby goes, "Yeah." Well, since I now have the 4G turned off, it won't work. I have the Wi-Fi turned off, it won't work. You have to be online for Bixby to do its thing. I couldn't connect. Try your network connection and try again. Right, exactly. Now you tell it a couple times, "Hi, Bixby," and then it recognizes that you're calling out for it. Now, also on this side, there is, besides the volume rocker, there is a button wake up. Also, there's that kind of cool thing where you basically pass your hand over it, and it, in some instances, it'll go, "Oh, okay, you mean me now." Most of the time, I just default and hit the power button. Like the Dave Chappelle character. I guess I don't know. I don't watch that much Dave Chappelle, but it is Bixby, I believe. So Bixby. But if you say, "Hi, Bixby," it's right there going, "Hey man, I thought you called me." Yeah, well, I called you, but I didn't mean you, okay? And there are so many shortcuts and so many toys and so many tools on this thing. It's going to take me probably the better part of about 6 months to learn all of its tech. Also, the other downside is, of course, I have all my icons on basically 2 pages as opposed to 3 or 5, because it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like there's like 20 or 25 icons per page because the screen is so flipping big. Now, the thing is of course, I could have gone S10, which Mrs. Dude and numerous other people have. The S10 is a painless unit. I mean, it works really, really nicely. The biggest thing with this one is the fact that you have a built-in pen on board. It is better for day-to-day working. I mean, you basically have the ability to just write on stuff. I mean, I took a screenshot of something and I didn't have the zip code, so I just basically just grabbed the pen out. I wrote on the image to say this, that, and the other thing. Very, very easy editing. Of course, like I said, I'm still learning stuff. Hang on a second, let me put this thing to sleep. It's getting a little weird to be waving it around. But it is one of those learning curve things. And the nice thing is they're getting cheaper. Now, I got into this thing off of eBay, adult-owned, gently used, with a case, sub $300. I would have been giving up some stuff. So if I went Note 10, I'd be giving up the headphone jack. And I really don't like the idea of Bluetooth headphones frying your brain that close to everything. I'm just not a fan. So I really wanted to have a Bluetooth headphone, not required. I usually don't even use Bluetooth. 99 times out of 100, I don't turn on Bluetooth. I think it's really just one of those kind of icky, nasty, too many stray atoms running around and just going and attacking your brain. Don't need it. Got enough stuff going on. As a matter of fact, most times when I'm using this phone, I'll put it on speaker, so I don't need to have the phone on my ear. And the speaker on this thing, it sounds actually really, really good. And I have a conversation running it in speaker mode. This thing just did not play nice running a speaker phone call. I could hear him fine. Only problem is, the speaker was back here. The only problem is this one just did not play nice doing a speaker phone call at all. It just did not go well at all. I would have to use a headphone with, an earpiece with a microphone, which was fine. I didn't mind it at all. As a matter of fact, that's actually what I still have in my, my Honda Pilot as a backup. I do have one of those earpieces with a microphone built in. If you look at those plugs, there's actually four segments with 3 rings. So actually you have the ground, the microphone, the left and the right for, an audio input and output. I just like the idea of having a wired headphone. If you drop one of those earbuds that are Bluetooth, it's like, oh crap, I just lost one. Well, that's why Apple is kind enough to sell you one AirPod for the ridiculous low price of $99. If you lose one, man, you're crying. I'd rather have something with a wire, so if I drop it, it's like, plug it back into my ear. It's not gone forever. Tell me the time you got indicted for 37 war crimes. Oh, the blind black Klansman. Okay. Yeah, that was a really, really funny skit. I can't say half the stuff that Chappelle did, but yeah, he made that thing just hilarious. That was good stuff. Tell me the time you got indicted for 37 war crimes in Kosovo. I've never been to Kosovo. I don't know anything about that, man. And that's Colonel Johnson. Okay, whomever that is, but no, I don't know anything about that one, dude. That ain't me. But I think, in any way, shape, or form, the upgrade will hold me in good stead. It's new enough that the tech's going to be good for a while. Comparing this with other tech, this thing is actually really sick. I mean, I saw a video. There's a video on YouTube that I threw at one of my friends in a private message, and he was in shock. It was this one right here. So Samsung Note 9 versus the iPhone 8 Plus, I think it was. And the guy put him down and dumped boiling water on both phones. The iPhone shut off. The iPhone shut off. This thing kept running. Dude pulled it out, wiped it off. It still continued working. The only thing it did was it kept saying, okay, I got to turn apps off because I'm overheating. It still continued to work, being submerged in boiling water. I haven't set that up yet. I'm doing the finger unlock thing, and basically I'm learning things on this. So if you hold it a certain way, it's happy and it wants to unlock. So still learning this thing. I know the fingerprint sensor is right underneath the camera on the back, which is why the case has the triangular cutout. That's why, for the fingerprint sensor. So anyway, learning, exploring, figuring out, finding out. The guy that sold this to me has a screen protector on it. This is a wraparound screen, so it does have the rolled over edges you got to be really careful about. It does have very good bumpers on there. So the body, you see that jerry rig everything guy, and he's like scratching on. I don't do that to my stuff. I'm ripping to my phones. This one happens to be the really, really dark blue, almost purple. Kind of looks kind of cool. I did not want to get one that was like the salmon or the purple color or whatever. Yeah, no, that's foofy. They were cheap. And that was the thing, is I think everybody just did not want to have a purple phone. But the difference between the S8 and the S10 for me, and the major detractor is I wanted to have, well, S9 versus S10 notes, is I wanted to have an earphone jack. The processors in the newer one, of course, is bigger and better. And of course, they do a little bit more tweaking and tuning, and there's a little bit more stuff on board. But does it really make that big a difference for day-to-day use? Not really. Oh, wow, this one downloaded the picture, 5% faster. Oh, this one did this program, X amount, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I played the video game side by side, and I don't know why this thing's freaking out so bad. But I mean, I played video games on this thing so far, and the picture quality is the biggest thing. I mean, the picture quality on it, I think, is just ridiculous. And comparing it to the S5 picture, which still is decent. I mean, this thing actually, for being a 6-year-old phone, was a hell of an ass kicker, and it stood up to the test of time until fairly recently, because Google switched things up on Google Maps. And of course, they switched things around with the technology on the GPS, and, some of the stuff changed, and it really just doesn't do as good. Am I going to keep it around as a just in case? Absolutely, because I can still use this like, your classic Wi-Fi phone. I still can use it as an MP3 player. I'm still going to watch videos online with it. I still have a Wi-Fi hub. So technology being what it is, if this phone craps out, I still can make Wi-Fi phone calls on this thing. No problem at all. Log into Gmail, log into Facebook. I still can call people. All right, let me scroll. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but there is a news story, and this is from gatewaypundit.com. Let me open up the link here real quick, and you guys can get as much humor out of it as what I found. All right, supposedly there was a news story. This one's posting up from Cassandra Fairbanks, published September 3, and it was the Secret Service inadvertently confirms Gateway Pundit's story about Biden sexually assaulting an agent's girlfriend. Yeah. The old sniffer was at it again, except he took it to a whole other level. In 2017, the Gateway Pundit exclusively reported that a Secret Service agent was suspended for a week in 2009 for shoving then Vice President Joe Biden after he cupped his girlfriend's breast while the couple was taking a photo with him. Interesting. The situation got so heated, a source from the Secret Service agent at the time told the Gateway Pundit that others had to step in to prevent the agent from hitting the then Vice President. Speaking on condition of anonymity, which I love that phrase, the agent asserted that, quote, we had to cancel the VP Christmas get-together at the Vice President's house because Biden would grope all of our wives and girlfriends' asses, end quote. The annual party was for agents and Navy personnel who are tasked with protecting the Biden family. The Secret Service has now inadvertently confirmed our report to Judicial Watch, who has filed a lawsuit after the Secret Service failed to respond to a July 14, 2020 administrative appeal challenging its claim that all the files related to the 2009 altercation, quote, had all been destroyed, end quote, due to, quote, Judicial Watch's FOIA, so Freedom of Information request, was made on May 12, 2020, sought all records related to the reported incident in 2009 in which the United States Secret Service agent reportedly was involved in an altercation with or attempted to strike then Vice President Joe Biden during a photo opportunity. The record shall include, but not be limited to, witness statements, the agent's statement, witness statement, alleged perpetrator statement, incident reports, investigative reports, communications among USSS personnel, so United States Secret Service, personnel regarding the incident, and disciplinary records relating to the incident for the agent in question. In July 2013, in response to the Judicial Watch request, the Secret Service appeared to confirm that a file on the alleged incident existed at some point, asserting, quote, there are no responsive records or documents pertaining to your request in our files, end quote, because, quote, the above mentioned file has been destroyed, quote, due to, quote, retention standards. The Secret Service added that, quote, no additional information is available, end quote. It did not deny the incident occurred. In its lawsuit, Judicial Watch intends to test the Secret Service assertion that it destroyed all the records about the incident. Interesting. Quote, we've not been able to confirm whether the report of the alleged altercation is maybe true until the Secret Service itself suggested it destroyed records about the incident, stated Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Interesting. No, it didn't happen, but we destroyed the records. Yeah. Let me see if I can't click off on this one link here. We had to protect women from him, Weinstein level stuff. We messed with every single woman or teen. It was horrible, the agent said. Now, supposedly Trump is bad because he has this grab him by the P word kind of thing. Agents say that, this is from the previous thing. Agents say that the Vice President's residence or at home in Delaware, Biden has a habit of swimming in his pool nude. Female Secret Service agents find that offensive. Our source confirmed the sentiment, adding that, quote, it was especially an issue at his Delaware house that he would go to every weekend. Yeah, he would only get naked when Jill was absent, he added. So he had to be afraid of mommy. He couldn't do it when mommy was around. Yeah, oh man. Supposedly C-SPAN had this thing, call for, if you're a Democrat in support of Trump, call for if you're a Republican in support of Trump. You always see that. It's like the 1-800 numbers where you basically chime in for where you fall into the stories and what have you. And supposedly they switched it off to say, do you support Trump? Do you support Biden? They lost the party affiliation because C-SPAN was owned by Dem callers saying they now support Donald John Trump. Oops. Holy crap. Wow. Logan, Biden would have made a bad Walmart greeter. Welcome to Walmart. Nice boobs. Hi, welcome to Walmart. Nice boobs. Oh, man. Yeah, he's definitely the dirty old man, and he does not belong in a position of authority where he can assert and assault many females in the process. Holy, he's got no restraint and he's got no filter, man. He really doesn't. He almost got clocked by a Secret Service agent who is the guy supposedly supposed to protect him. Wow. The news media has been completely... A armed terrorist from Syria with an AR-15, a shotgun, and a pistol attempted to shoot a gate guard and enter the Navy base in Corpus Christi, Texas, and kill as many on base as possible. A young Navy sailor, female, was on duty checking IDs, was shot square in the chest with a pistol by the terrorist. However, she was wearing a ceramic and Kevlar vest. The bullet did not enter her body. However, the force knocked her to the ground. She was able to quickly regain footing and hit the emergency button, which closed the security barricade before the terrorist could pass through. She then, with great focus and purpose, unloaded her sidearm into the vehicle, killing the terrorist and saving unknown lives. The media, however, has had no statements on it whatsoever. That is a hell of a sailor. Let's see. Scrolly. I thought this was absolutely hilarious. It's got about 2 minutes in. The link is in my timeline there. But supposedly CNN cut away from Trump at the Republican convention after he started really ripping the libtards a complete and total new one, deservedly, might I say. And basically they were like, well, he's lying. All these things he said previously, it's bad. He's not really knowing what he's talking about here. He's just completely, he's wrong. So that's the kind of whiny kind of stuff that CNN has to do because, again, liberals cannot answer the charges and they have nothing to contend with other than loud, obnoxious, screaming memeite, yelling at you, shouting over you, trying to silence you because they have nothing to contend with the charges you have placed on them. All right, we're coming up on about the 15 minutes to the end of the time period. So what are we looking at again? Well, today I'm not going to be eating weird stuff. I think I'm going to be drinking weird stuff. Blue stuff and green stuff. I'll be drinking blue and green stuff because it is an episode of... Yep, so we got ourselves a bottle of Calypso Ocean Blue Lemonade. We have ourselves a bottle of Calypso Kiwi Lemonade. And the nice thing about this stuff is it contains sugar. Not high fructose corn syrup. It contains sugar. It actually contains fruit juice too. But unfortunately for me, I am distance-based now because I've gotten older and small font sucks. Containing filtered water, sugar, lemon juice concentrate, citric acid, natural flavors, lemon fruit pulp, modified food starch, FDNC, blue number 1, EDTA, protect color, the King Juice Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Refrigerate after opening. This is cold. The kiwi is essentially roughly the same thing except for yellow. Same place, King Juice Company, and it is a tropical style of beverage. Does that mean it's got like blue curacao? No, it's non-alcoholic. So let me get this thing a roll here. Let you guys know what you got. For the Martian whiz drink looking thing here. I commend it to you. To absent companions. Has almost like a pineapple thing going on. It is really, really, really sweet. It is really sweet. When I stated most emphatically that, basically little kids that love this stuff, yeah, because it contains a lot of sugar. They'd be pounding this crap. Is it good? Yeah, it actually is very good. Now, if you were to do the adult version of this, that would be probably like a shot or two of vodka, and this stuff would be on point. So, it's around. Look it up online. Calypso. Abram in the room says those are really good. Okay. The lemonade, that was, I've obviously been drinking this one a little bit because it was already open. This one's new. And that means it's safe to drink. All right, so this one being the green version, the kiwi lemonade. I'd rather do like kiwi fruit. They're good. Just give me 1 second here. Oh, this one's spectacular. Yeah, this one's, and then the other one I had, my niece was drinking, I took a swig off, was the grape berry lemonade. They're all good. They're really, really sweet though, but they're all good. I would say if you took this thing and you knocked off about a third of it and filled it up the rest of the way with water to knock down the sweetness a bit, maybe a little bit better. But I can tell you for a fact, both these guys, yeah, they're good. So contenders and obvious winners therein of the episode of. They're not bad. They're not bad. I would definitely say if you want to drink something and you want sugar in it, get this stuff. Yeah, that's. I think I like the kiwi. I like the kiwi better. Yep. This one's not bad, but I like the kiwi one better. The grape berry was really, really good. So I would say probably if you're doing something and you need something to, quench your thirst, one of these and one of these, because you're going to need something after all that sugar. But that one actually was not bad. I gotta say that one was not bad at all. See, scroll. Oh, this one yet again. Earlier, because Chuck Todd is so popular even on MSNBC. Yeah, Chuck Todd is just not popular even on MSNBC. They've actually kicked him back to like 1 p.m. He used to be like 5 p.m. He's now like 1 p.m. But Chuck Todd was doing a interview, and he's concerned that the Biden campaign is also concerned that Trump will overperform with black men. Okay, now let's break this down to its basic nuance. Simple, easy to describe, removing political psychobabble BS. Bravo, Sierra, Barbara Streisand. Overperforming with black men is code for, oh crap, they're not voting for Democrats because they found us out. Yeah. Take it for what it's worth. Blacks are sick of Democrats. That's it. They're sick of them. They're like, hey man, you guys come in here every 4 years. You ask for our support. You don't do anything for us. Then you come back 4 years later and you're like, yeah, vote for us because the Republicans suck. We didn't get anything done because they held us up. It's like, you were the guys in power. It's like, oh, but when the Republicans held us back, we couldn't do anything, because the Republicans wouldn't let us do anything. We need to have your support yet again. And I think what it is finally American blacks are going, hey, they said that the last time. They didn't do anything for us. They screwed us over. Yeah, they screwed you over, man. Stop voting for the people who say the big line and don't do anything for you. Just stop it, okay? I mean, trust me. You're going to find something better when you vote for somebody who actually holds up with what they say when they're going to do it and if they do it. That's not a Democrat. Democrats are a bunch of liars. In another slap to the face with this false premise of Donald Trump saying that the U.S. military that died in Vietnam were suckers and losers, yet another person, Zach Fuentes, who's a top aide to John Kelly, denies that Atlantic story. The story from The Atlantic, which had anonymous sources and allegations. So not even like true statements of somebody saying these things, but allegations of Donald Trump saying, oh, those guys are suckers and losers for going to Vietnam. The Atlantic, let's be perfectly honest here. The Atlantic is owned by Lauren Powell Jobs. Read like the ridiculously uber rich widow of Steve Jobs. The raging a-hole who ran Apple. And when Apple was run by him, it actually did do something worthy. Not like, oh, wow, we have the Apple XYZ PDQ. It's so much better than the Apple XYZ PD. What's better about it? Well, it's new. Back when Apple was doing technology breaking, amazing things. I'm not an Apple fanboy, but, amazing technology breaking just the thresholds and doing new stuff that people never ever said would ever be made or have happened. It happened under Steve Jobs. He was the guy who pretty much made those things possible because he was a raging a-hole. He drove his people to tears to break and broach technology. He was an absolute harsh taskmaster, but because of him, yes, there is. Yes, there is. And it's funny to watch because, anytime that you have a hashtag, that means that more than one person is going, yeah, this is enough for me to say, boom, I'm putting my opinion on something. Even if they're putting their opinion on something. And here's the thing. If you have a disillusioned group of people who are failing to turn out, that is a vote for the other side. Now, you can say, oh, well, he's going to be so unpopular and, there's all this hate Trump thing going on and all the rest of this falderall. If somebody is so disillusioned that they choose not to vote, that is a vote for the other side. So the whole hashtag walk away thing is a bunch of people who say, you know what? I'm not voting. I'm just not voting at all. And it's a bunch of people saying, you know what? I'm tired of this crap. I want something better. And I will vote for the other side. In either case, you could say that is two instances where one political party is going to be very, very concerned about the retention of their last amount of voting base. The other thing, too, is also, you got to remember, too, is that Donald Trump had, 13% of the black vote. This time they say he's probably closer to 23, if not 30% of the black vote. And then there's a whole unspoken minority or majority, or call it what you will, of those people who are given the question, who will you vote for this time? And they say, you know what? I'm not going to say. Or they say, you know what? I have no opinion. Or they're going to say, I don't know. Or they're going to say, you know what? I'm going to just go in the voting booth and just pull. I'm just going to pull a lever. Well, who are you going to vote for? Yeah, when I get in there, I'll decide. Those are the people that might actually be supporters for Trump, or there might actually be supporters for Biden, but they just don't want to say to these pollsters who are asking them time and time again, oversampling Democrats and saying, oh, yeah, so you're voting for, Biden. Stephen Albers, appreciate you coming on by. And yeah, Logan, that's potentially the numbers that they're looking at right now. Anytime you can flip a base that much over, you're starting to make a hell of a dent. And that's the thing, too, is American blacks are tired of being crapped on. American blacks are seeing the Democrat Party for what it truly actually is. Never forget, Dred Scott, segregation, the KKK, a whole bunch of other just ridiculously, overtly, and unbelievably racist things. Johnson, yeah, they do this for me. Those N-words will be voting for us for the next 100 years. The Democrat Party has always been quietly but overtly racist against blacks. So much so that their legislation reflects upon it. Prohibition and making marijuana illegal was intended to stop blacks from imbibing. Gun control was intended to stop slaves from arming themselves. Freed slaves arming themselves. Oh, no, we can't have that. We need gun control to stop them from having them guns. Then it spills over to the rest of society because, control freak idiots being control freak idiots don't like our Constitution. They don't like freedom of speech. And they really, truly don't like when you basically hold them up for those things that they do and call them on their actions. That's all bad juju. Let's see. Scroll. New York Post. It's now looking like the lockdowns may have been a huge mistake. Gee, do you think? Unbelievable. Stephen Albers voted for the first time was 2016, and I wore my vote for. I looked at my badge and said, "Who the blank do you think I voted for?" Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, they don't like when you show up in uniform and you vote stridently the wrong party. And I do mean the wrong party. Oh man, that's funny stuff. Let's see. So looking at this New York thing, let me click off on it real fast here. Okay, so New York Post, and you can ask anybody. The New York Post is just anybody says the New York Post is crap. Because they are. Birds don't even like to crap on at the bottom, when it's on the bottom of their bird cage. This is from Robert Miller. Were lockdowns a mistake? To that nagging question, the answer increasingly seems to be yes. No kidding. Certainly, they were a novelty. As novelist Lionel Shriver writes, really? Who the hell's him? Quote, we never before responded to a contagion by closing down whole countries, end quote. As I've noted, in 1957-58, Asian flu killed between 70 to 116,000 Americans, between 0.04% and 0.07% of the nation's population, and the 68 Hong Kong flu killed about 100,000, or 0.05% of the population. The corona death toll is 186,000, or 0.055% of the current population of the United States of 330 million people. And I'm adding that in there. It will go higher, but it's about the same magnitude as those two flus, and it's been less deadly to those under 65 than the flus were. Yet there's no statewide lockdowns, no massive school closings, no closures of office buildings and factories, restaurants and museums. No one considered shutting down Woodstock. That's the people who... because people back then had a set of nuts. Woodstock happened during the flu, and it was a bad flu. You can look up the numbers. It was not a good time to get sick. So you get how many people together? Hey, let's have a little fun here. Let's have a little fun here. Let's fire Bixby, shall we? Yeah, let's fire Bixby. Hi, Bixby. Number of attendees at Woodstock. Hang on a second. Let me get myself online. Let me try it again. This will be cute. I like doing stuff like this. This will be fun. Number of attendees. No, that didn't work. Hang on a second. Hit the wrong button. Like I said, I'm learning this thing. Okay. Hi, Bixby. Number of attendees at Woodstock.
You have 2 events capsules. Do you want to use Ticketmaster or event?
Hi, Bixby. Number of attendees at 1969 Woodstock.
You have 2 events capsules. Do you...
She's a dummy sometimes. Okay. I know for a fact the number was absolutely insane. So let's just do the old classic one, and we'll just simply punch it up on Wikipedia. 1969, estimated attendance was 400,000. Estimated. I tend to think that number was actually quite a bit higher because the place was absolutely trashed when they got done. 32 acts performed outdoors despite sporadic rain, what have you. It was absolutely nuts. Absolutely. At the point when Jimi Hendrix performed. He actually performed on the very, very last day, like one of the last acts, and he blew the place away. I mean, it was like one of his most amazing performances ever. And you can find it. I mean, it's really easy to find. Jimi Hendrix doing Woodstock was like just amazing. Absolutely amazing. No more comments over there. So anyway, why are attitudes so different today? Perhaps should have a greater confidence in government's effectiveness? No. If anything, the government is less effective nowadays. If public policy can affect climate change, it can stamp out a virus. God, I love these liberals, man. They just They really don't know what the hell they're talking about. Plus, we're more risk averse. Children are allowed to walk to school. Jungle gyms vanish from playgrounds. College students are shielded from microaggressions. We have a safetyism mindset. The coddling of the American mind, which many aspects of students' lives need to be carefully regulated by adults. It's just, yes, you just got to turn them off, man. They're just morons. But he was right in some respect. We're basically a bunch of, hang on a sec. I got this one, sound guy. I got this one. We're pretty much run by a bunch of, yeah. Just a bunch of liberal, yep. Full on, yep. No other way to say it except they're a bunch of liberal, yeah. Or you could express it simply as this: they're a bunch of, ussies. Yep, just full on ussies. That's about the only way I could say it cleanly and, not go too terribly overt. But anyway, let me see what we got going on here. I think I pretty much have reached my foos. Around the cabin, buy, sell, and trade. Around the cabin, food. Around the cabin, school, self-reliance. AroundTheCabin.com, AroundTheCabin.com/campfire. Still in the process of getting things back up and running. Rich is doing some stuff, so he's getting settled in a new place. So it's a long, protracted, drawn-out thing, but we're still doing stuff, okay? Don't worry about that. Around the Cabin is still around, okay? Obviously, you guys are seeing me on YouTube. See me as, obviously, 80s Podcast Channel. Of course, see me on Facebook, Dude Jerky. Do have the Twitter, 80SPCC. And good stuff like that there. I'm still amazingly on Facebook. I haven't copped another 30-day. I think maybe I have changed my tune just a little bit. I now know some of the stuff that does fly, some of the stuff that doesn't fly, and I know how to be snarky without being stupid about it. So on that note, I will continue being me. I shall not stop. I shall not stop being me. I went a little Sean Connery there. I'll continue being me. I'll do the stuff as I need to do and see fit and making mischief, as it were. Do be sure to check out those calypsos. Those things are actually pretty tasty. And I think you can probably find them most of your convenience stores. They are glass bottles, so obviously trying to fly with them. I don't know how actually flying with a glass bottle is going to be. I actually do have to fly out and do something in like another couple weeks, so I'll be, experiencing the fun and gentle touching therein of the TSA. Yeah. Oh, I'll give you updates on that one when stuff happens, but I do actually have to do some stuff and fly. I'm not really looking forward to it, but it's stuff that's got to get done, so I got to do it. Anyway, so appreciate your kind attention, you guys hanging out with me. I know you got many other places to go. You guys hung out with me on a Tuesday. You get a gold star for attendance, and I appreciate your kind attentions. I know you got many other things to do on a Tuesday, and you guys hung out with me, so truthfully, I could say thank you most earnestly. I'll break up with this one. Thank you guys so much for having a good night with me in the process. And I'll catch you guys later. Eat good, keep it tender. As always, you know you love it. And, of course, I now have to hit the end stream. And yes, the mouse is now working. Okay. So, anyway, we break up with this one, guys. Eat good, keep it tender. As always, you know you love it. And I think you guys hang out with me. And I'll catch you guys next week. Good stuff like that there. See you guys. Peace.